What's up YouTube, Capital G here, got a little bit of Shaddoll action for you guys to check out. We know everything that is in the Rebirth of Shaddoll structure deck, and even though I didn't cover all the cards because there were just so many different reveals at that point with Link Frames 3 and other stuff Konami was putting out there, I have to say I think that I was actually wrong about this support. Again, I didn't cover every card, but I kind of internally thought, man, I'm not really sure if this is it. I'm not sure that these new cards are going to be nearly as good as Shaddolls when they came out of like Duelist Alliance. There were certain cards like Wendy where I was like, all right, that card's crazy. It can summon a Shaddoll from your deck. That's pretty damn amazing. But overall, I was like, I don't really know if this is it, Chief. But yeah, after seeing these things in action, I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to change my opinion. This card right here is a prime example. It's a Call of the Haunted for Shaddolls, and it's also like an AD changer, but it's a quick effect, and it doesn't just work on a Shaddoll monster with that second effect. Anyways, playing against Salamangreats, and honestly, this is one of those openings with Salamangreat that are just so good, you pretty much have to win. You have your Flame Buffalo, which is going to get you a draw 2. You get the discard, pretty much a free, like he could discard Jack Jaguar or Spinny. Either way, he's getting, I would go for Jack Jaguar because you don't really want to have it in your hand, but he's getting free discard fodder. He also opened with Foul, which probably means he'll be able to make Abyss Dweller, which against Shaddolls is like auto win. He also has the Phantasme, and he has a copy of Enemy Controller. He's also going to get that Rage. I looked at the hand, I'm like, dude, this is nearly a perfect hand for Salamangreat. It's like opening, this is just the nuts. Not to mention, he also got the Circle back, which, you know, limited card and whatnot. He also got the Circle, you know, got to reset that, so that's pretty good. Gonna make Dweller in defense mode. Has Gazelle back in his hand where it started. It's looking like it's going to be a GG no re. I saw this and I was like, dude, I really don't think that like Shaddolls can beat this, especially considering Dweller is so good. He will force the effect or the enemy controller by just attacking. He is going to go ahead and during the battle phase when his opponent went Econ, he is going to use the El Shaddoll Fusion. Problem is, opponent still has the Salamangreat Rage, so I feel like Construct will probably just be blown up, which of course she will. So she's going to bite the dust. Then he'll set a couple of cards in. This is where, you know, Shaddolls have a little bit of power. Before, they didn't really run any trap cards. I know early on they ran like Sinister Shadow games and, oh man, I'm forgetting Shaddoll Core, I believe it was. But they haven't really ran any trap cards in a while. He's going to activate the Incarnation, which is a monster. Well, it's a Call of the Haunted for a Shaddoll monster. So that gets him in the Construct back. And keep in mind, Construct will activate her effect. So she can dump something in the graveyard. I think he's going to dump Ariel's going to trigger, which is kind of nice, and that's going to target up to 3 cards in the Salamangreat player's graveyard and banish all 3 of them. So this effect can be very valuable, and obviously, you know, Salamangreats, they live and die off of their graveyard. I think he's targeting both traps and also the Jack Jaguar just to kind of take the trap cards out of the duel, essentially. He uses Lost Wind on the Abyss Dweller to make sure that his Construct will float. Ideally, although he could probably just bounce it with the copy of Stalia, which is going to happen. He resets the Lost Wind. I really didn't think there was a point to. I don't think I actually would have said it because chances are if your opponent makes Heat Leo, they're gonna Tensei summon and they're just going to get rid of this card. So that's why I probably would not have said it if I was him. He is going to Tensei. And then he goes into Mirage Stallion. Now look, he did make a mistake here. I will point this out. If you Tensei summon your freaking Heat Leo, you have to remember to use the effect. He could have targeted any one of these monsters on the field, made it 2300 attack, which is the attack of his Heat Leo in the graveyard, and he would have just won the duel. So it's an effect that you cannot forget if you're a Salamangreat player, but he forgot about it, and unfortunately that leaves his opponent with 150 life points. I smell a comeback, and I can definitely see it happening. Mathematician will be met with impermanence, but this is where the graveyard effect of the reincarnation, or excuse me, the incarnation comes in handy. He's going to activate it from the graveyard, and he's going to flip his Mathematician face down, and since it's face down, that means it's unaffected by the effect of the impermanence. I think he sent Wendy to the graveyard, and Wendy can special summon a Shaddoll from your deck, which is incredible. That gets him a Shaddoll Beast, and he just kind of has to I would say he has to survive this onslaught because he's definitely still behind the 8 ball. He's still definitely not in a winning position. He will draw a card. Beast will activate. That'll send the Squamata to the graveyard. Sends Windy, and then he gets Falco from his deck. This was so important because getting Falco from the deck meant that he could block an attack with Falco. Then he could summon a Shaddoll from his graveyard. That could block an attack. And then Ariel can summon another monster. So basically, he's just blocking like 3 attacks for free, basically. And he's not taking any actual damage because he can't afford to take any damage. He's going to use the effect of Incarnation again. Flip up Dragon, bounces opponent's copy of Falco, so at least he gets to keep the Dragon. And I think he's going to use his copy of Super Poly, and that gets the Mekk-Knight Crusader Astrum off field, and he's able to, you know, pop the back row as well. He does lose his Construct in the process, but I think he actually is going to get it back by sending Cord to the graveyard and getting Shaddoll Fusion. Obviously, Construct ain't no hard once per turn, so she can just activate her effect, and now he can actually start doing some damage. His opponent is going to use the effect of Balinks, but that does actually just make the Mathematician trigger. And I don't get this. He kept blowing, I don't know if this Salamangreat player is new. He kept blowing up his own copy of Sanctuary. I don't know if he knows that Foxy is optional, but it's optional. So that's just something to think about. Now at this point, I just assumed that he only played 1 copy of Stalio, which is also kind of a rookie mistake because you can see that Stalio bouncing probably would have been able to out the Construct and he would have probably been able to win the duel, but doesn't look like he has it. He's going to activate that Call of the Haunted, the Incarnation again for Shaddoll Beast, goes for Hita. These are some really weird plays in my opinion, but I guess he was doing that to get the Boilo Dragon. Boilo Dragon will be destroyed by Construct, just something that you need to know in case you try to take a Construct with Boilo. Now you can see he top decked the BLS, which could easily banish the Construct, but I guess he's like, why should I do that, Cap? I would rather just let it go to the graveyard, thus I can get my Incarnation back from my graveyard for free. He's gonna summon BLS and then flip summon Windy, get another monster from his deck. Now he can start attacking. I don't think I would have done this. This is just me. He's going to use Super Polymerization in the battle phase. I feel like I would have saved this for like a defensive use because you weren't going to win the duel. So I feel like if you're not going to win with Super Poly, it's probably best to try to save it. But he says, screw that, Cap. I'm just going for it. He's going to continue attacking, leaves his opponent with 1,000. He doesn't even know this, but ironically, it makes it so he can't use this Cyclone anymore. So that was actually kind of clutch. It was clutch, but it was clutch by accident. His opponent will top deck Signet Mining, being completely bailed out by his deck because he's like, yo, I got discard fodder for days now. And it looks like he just doesn't have any actual plays. Incarnation will be used for like the 15th time to get Construct, and now he should have enough on board to easily win the game. Yeah, I think the Shaddoll cards, they're better than you think. I don't think they're cards that like look amazing on paper, and definitely I will say, I feel like the Salamangreat player definitely misplayed a couple of times in this duel, but it does show you that the new Shaddoll cards can definitely, like, they can at least hang with the meta. It can be at least a rogue deck, and originally I was looking at the cards and I was like, oh, these are just okay. I don't know if they're actually going to be good, and yeah, the cards are actually good. Anyways, whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.